Good morning, everybody from Boca Raton, Florida. Today we are going to be going on the 2023 South Florida Toys for Tots rally. And just like the one I did last year, I'm just as excited as last year. So we're taking my dad's Porsche 911 and we have Tyler here. He's gonna be my cameraman for the day. So if my shots are shit, then roast him in the comment section down below. Okay, on that note, let's head over to the BB&T Center, whatever the fuck it's called.
Okay, let's start off this video in voiceover so I don't get copyrighted with the music. First off was that white Bugatti Chiron with HRE wheels on it. Then this is the DDE fully exposed carbon fiber McLaren Senna. And I had a really nice chat with Damon and got to meet him. Really nice guy, and if you are watching this video, Damon, for whatever reason, it was great having a chat with you. I actually met Damon back in 2017, which was before I had a beard. So I definitely looked a little bit different, but it was really nice to be able to say hi to Damon again. Okay, let's take a look at some of the other cars that are up here. First off, we have a Lotus Emira, the new electric Lotus SUV, the Elettre, and then to the left, for whatever reason I couldn't get in the shot, is a Huracan Sterrato. Then we have this absolutely beautiful Diablo, a DBS Roadster, a Huracan STO, looks like a Urus Performante, and a couple of other, I guess you could say Uri, since there's multiple Urus models. Okay, then over here we have a Huracan Sterrato, a couple of 911s, an F8 and Aventador S Roadster that looks like another Performante. And then over here are the same Lotus models that I just covered previously, along with the DDE Senna and the Huracan Sterrato. Oh look, hi Senna, can you please give me that Chiron, Sterrato, and Senna for Christmas, please? Yeah, thank you. I promise I'll make homemade cookies and leave them on the floor by the fireplace. Even though we don't have a fireplace in my house because it's Florida. Anyways, here is this beautiful white Chiron with HRE wheels on it, and then we have Brett David's absolutely beautiful Pagani Huayra. This thing has been around for a while. Every single time I see it, it is absolutely beautiful. Then we have an 812 Superfast, a Juliet Quadrifoglio, a Pista Peloti Edition, a 720S, a 296 GTS, a Ferrari Roma, and then another 296, this time the Coupe GTB variant, the Ferrari Portofino, and then in the distance, a Huracan STO. Oh, and a golf cart. Then over here we have the record-breaking Ford GT that went 310 miles an hour, an F430 Spider, a Porsche, looks like a GTS, Okay, so for whatever reason I didn't get a very long shot, but we got a couple of DBXs, a Bentayga, looks like an F8 and a 720S, and an Aston Martin Vantage.
Okay, so we were just up there, and there was Taylor Swift is not playing. So I guess shout out to the Swifties out there, even though I don't really listen to Taylor Swift. But anyways, you can't really hear it over here, so hopefully I don't get demonetized, YouTube. Please don't demonetize the video. All right, let's get into the lineup over here. So we have division of brands. So we have Ferrari over here and Lamborghini over there, and then kind of miscellaneous with like Lotus, McLaren, Porsche, all the way down there. My dad's 911's all the way down there. But we got a 488, SF90, Ferrari Roma, 488, V8 Vantage. That's a 360. I believe that is that a Challenge to Dolly? I gotta check. Let me see. I don't think it is. No, I don't think it is. But still really cool nonetheless. 458 Spider. I have a really big soft spot for the Scuderia, especially the 16M, in yellow especially. It's one of the few Ferraris I would get in yellow over red. The next one being the F12 TDF. Then we have an 812 GTS, really cool spec on that. Nice dark red. 488 Spider, 488 Pista Spider, SF90, F430 Spider, 488. I really like the black roof on those. I think it really makes the car look even more sleek. F8 Tributo, another SF90, Ferrari 599. We actually saw this on the highway when we were cruising over here. 488 Spider. 488 Spider as well. They're like almost identical in spec. Then we have a 458 Italia, which this is probably one of my favorites. I love the 458. I take it over a 488 any day of the week. We have an F8 California T, F430 Spider, 812 Superfast, another 812 Superfast, and then we have another 458, and then we have a Ferrari FF. I've always had a soft spot for these cars. I just love the fact that you can get a Ferrari shooting brake. I know not everyone loves how this thing looks, and I totally get it. It's not the most beautiful Ferrari ever made, but I absolutely love it. The next to that is an F8 Spider, a 458 Spider, 488 GTB, another 488. Oh, that's a 488 Spider. 458 Italia, looks like an F430 Spider. 488 GTB. This is a 360 Modena. California, I hate on this car a lot, but it's actually pretty good value for money. First Ferrari to feature a dual clutch gearbox, and you're still getting a naturally aspirated V8 that sounds really good, and you can get these sometimes under $100,000. Then we have a Ferrari Roma, Ferrari 488 Spider, 488 GTB, California T, 488 Spider, and then a 458 Speciale. Oh, okay, we're gonna take a look at that because that I really like, and I like that over there, the 458 Speciale Aperta. But I want to talk about this, the F12, because I don't really see these as much anymore. I've been seeing a lot of the 812s, and I'm curious, what do you all think? Would you rather have the 812 or the F12, at least in terms of looks? Because for me, I think the F12 looks better, especially the front end. The 812s just doesn't do it for me as much. I really like how this thing looks, especially in red. And the silver wheels actually work on this a lot. And the back is so cool, and I really like the rear fog light that's meant to mimic one on an F1 car. We don't really use those that much in the States, but in Europe, they use those a lot. But we need to get into this right here because this is absolutely stunning. The 458 Speciale is probably one of my favorite V8 Ferraris of all time. I think it is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, just look at that. That is, oh my God. I love the stripes. I love the color. I love the wheels. You don't even have carpets in there. You have like metal floors, and then you get to see that beautiful naturally aspirated V8. And the rear just, oh my God. I'm falling in love, I think. All right, moving on. Oh, hello, look at that. That's gorgeous. That's class right there. We also have an FF over here. This one is completely murdered out with the tint, and it has the yellow headlight covers. I don't know if I'd personally do that, but it works, especially with the yellow details around the car. But then we have a F8 Spider, and this spec is really cool. You have the white seats with the yellow stripes down the middle and yellow details like on the button surrounds. That was an Aventador. And then the stitching throughout. And you can't get it on video, but when you... Okay, so anytime you're near a new Ferrari or Lamborghini, and if it's a convertible especially, you can smell the interior. And it smells so good. But I want to talk about this because as much as I love the Speciale, the convertible version, the Aperta, is even cooler. I believe it's limited to, I don't know, it's under 1,000. I think it's like 999 or 599 or 499 units. I don't remember it off the top of my head. But I love this car. The convertible version of the 458 Speciale. I'm a convertible person. If I were ever to buy a supercar, it would be a convertible version. It's just a shame they're so much more expensive than the Speciale. Like I can afford a Speciale in the first place. You got green stitching throughout, and there's this really interesting detail that is on the driver's door. Do you see that panda? So that looks like it's been stitched into there, and it looks like it's from the factory. And that's really cool. Very unique 458 Speciale Aperta. We also have a California over here as well, just chilling. Okay, so now we're moving on to this part of the cars. We have 296, 488. I love the 296. I don't know how you guys feel, but I would take this over an SF90. And it's weird because I'm taking a V6 hybrid over a V8 hybrid, but I think it sounds better. It revs really high, and it kind of sounds like a baby 812. We have an F8 Tributo with some aftermarket wheels on it. F8 Spider, 488 Spider, another F8 Spider. The first GTC4 Lusso I've seen on this rally this year. I love this car. It's the regular one. So there's the Lusso and the Lusso T. The Lusso T has the twin turbo V8 from the 488, and I don't know, it might be detuned, I'm not 100% sure, but the regular Lusso has a naturally aspirated V12 that sounds amazing. And if I were getting one of these, I got to get the 12 cylinder. I'd maybe get a little bit more exciting wheels. I feel like this car deserves a much cooler set of wheels, but great car nonetheless. We have a Portofino, which was the replacement to the Ferrari California. We have another Portofino. This looks like it's in Rosso Dino, which is like basically a red orange. It looks really cool. I like it a lot. And then we're starting to get into the more Lamborghini section, and there's some more Ferraris over here. So start off, we have an F430, but it has the Scuderia back part, which is interesting. I was almost questioning if it was a Scuderia, but the easiest way to tell the difference between a Scuderia and a regular 430 is the difference in the exhaust. The regular 430 has quad exhaust, and the Scuderia has 2 exhausts on the top. Then we have a 458 Spider. We have a Ferrari SF90. We have a Huracan Tecnica, an Aventador El Ultime. We have a Huracan STO. This spec is, oh my God, I love the spec on that thing. F8 Spider, I think I already mentioned the SF90. F8 Tributo, 488 GTB, another SF90. Oh, that's got the carbon fiber wheel option. That's not cheap. Lamborghini Urus, another Urus. I believe this is this the Performante? Oh no, it's a Urus S. The Urus, I'm not really good with distinguishing the differences. Got another Urus here. Another Urus, I believe this is a Urus S. Or is this a Performante? I think this is the Performante. Okay, so this one's the Performante. I could not really tell the difference. I'm not really a big SUV person, so I don't really pay attention to this as much as some other cars that Lamborghini makes. I do want to see the Revuelto, though, when that comes to the States and more people start buying them. Past this SF90, we have a 360, a 458 Italia, F430 Spider, Aventador SV, and a LP610-4 Huracan, another Huracan Tecnica, an LP580-2 Spider, the 2 meaning it's 2-wheel drive. We have a Gallardo. This was the last facelifted Gallardo, and I haven't seen one of those in a long time, but I always had a soft spot for the Gallardo, especially the Spider. Huracan Tecnica, and then an OG Aventador, LP700-4. I'm not sure if I mentioned the 430 Spider or not, but 430 Spider, Portofino, 458 Italia, SF90. Oh, this is cool. 308 Quattro Valle, and 360 Spider. And then there's not too many cars over here. There's a lot over there. And the rally meeting is in 15 minutes. We got an OG Aventador LP700-4. a Huracan LP 610, I believe, and an interesting wrap. Definitely quite bold. Huracan, I think this is an LP 580-2. This is a Huracan Evo rear-wheel drive. That is a Urus S, I believe. And we got another Huracan Evo, but that is the full-wheel drive version. The two-wheel drive has these intakes in the front, and the four-wheel drive one has almost like a Y down there. Then we have another Huracan STO. Actually, two Huracan STOs. Specs on these things are so sick. I love this color with the silver details and this white with the red on it. Then we have a Urus. This I think is a Urus S, Aventador S Roadster, Urus, Performante, Spider. Haven't seen one of those in a long time. Oh, I think this is a Bicolore Gallardo, not Gallardo, which has like the black roof part, unless if they wrapped it like that. This is a Huracan Performante. I absolutely love this color. And then another El Ultime, and then an Aventador Roadster, and then two-wheel drive Huracan and a Huracan Technica. All right, let's head over here. Okay, so over here we got a bunch of McLarens and Viper ACR. Haven't seen one of these in a long time. Viper GTS, the OG Viper, another Viper GTS, 720S Spider, 570S, 600 LT, another 600 LT. This is the facelift Viper. I don't know too much about Vipers, but I always have a soft spot for these. I think this is an 8.3 liter V10, and this has an 8.4 liter V10, which is insane. And just for reference, a Bugatti Chiron has an 8 liter W16. 600 LT, another 600 LT. I think this is one of the most beautiful modern McLarens besides the P1. 720S, 12C. God, I haven't seen a 12C in a while. 720S, love that 720S in that blue. We have a 600 LT, a 720S, a new C8 Z06, 720S, another 720S, a Viper. I think it's a 570S Spider. Looks like it's a Z06 C7, another Z06, and this one is a regular C8, and then two more Z06s. And actually, Benji is going to be piloting this one right here, and we might be able to get a ride in it later, and this thing just sounds so good. The fact that it sounds better than a modern V8 Ferrari right now is insane. It sounds just like, or very similar to a 458. Got a Lotus Evora GT, I believe. And then this, I have no idea what it is. It looks, I've seen this car before. De Tomaso Pantera. I was like, this looks like a De Tomaso. Another Z06. Another Z06. Unless if that's a Grand Sport. Oh, it is a Grand Sport. I can tell by the wheels. This looks like two Lotus Elises. These things are tiny. I love how small they are. They're like little go-karts. This is this an Esprit? Lotus Esprit? Yep. These are cool. C6 Corvette. MC20 I love the MC20. If you could get me one in a convertible with like a voodoo blue exterior, which they do offer, take my money. I absolutely love how this thing looks. We have a Quattroporte ZR1. You don't see these very often. They're insanely powerful. 750 horsepower, supercharged V8. And we have a Z06, a Maserati Ghibli. You're seeing a lot of Maseratis and Alphas because we are going to be going to Ferrari Fort Lauderdale just like last year. And as a part of helping organize the rally, they're bringing a bunch of their cars in the rally. We have a C8, another Z06, another Z06, and another Z06. And then the MC20, another MC20 in a beautiful, beautiful color. Grand Cabriolet Maserati, two of them actually. These things sound so good. It is a Ferrari V8, but instead of a flat plane cranked V8, which makes it higher pitch, this is a cross plane crank V8. A cross plane crank V8. A cross plane crank V8. Flat plane crank. This is a cross pan crank. Unlike Ferrari, this has unlike the Ferrari, this has a cross pane crank. This is a cross plane crank V8. Unlike the Ferrari, this has a cross plane crank V8, so it has a different, deeper tone to it. It sounds glorious. What else we got? We got Viper, another Viper, another Viper, another Viper. There's a lot of Vipers on this rally. 720S, Viper ACR. I love the ACR. It's amazing how well this thing handles. It shows that an American car manufacturer can make a car handle amazing on a track. 570S Spider, that looks like it's a C8 Corvette, but I'm not good with American classics. We have a Viper ACR, the facelifted R8 Spider, an OG4 GT with the coolest license plate. Guess they don't really care about MPG, do they? And then, is this an Exige or an Elise? Well, they have a Senna on it. I don't know if that was from the factory or they just put that there. But really, really cool. It says no stripe, by the way.
We have 5 minutes to the driver's meeting. 5 minutes.
All right, well, the driver's meeting is soon, so I'm going to try to get through here as quickly as possible now. 600 LT, MC20, Turbo S, another OG4 GT, GT500, a GT3, MC20, looks like it's a 911, 991.2, 991.1 GTS Cabriolet. The most perfect spec GT4 in the best color. I believe this is shark blue. Oh, this thing is absolutely gorgeous. I'm not a big Porsche guy, but I want one of these so bad because of that induction noise from the carbon fiber airbox, which is directly behind you. We have a Turbo S cab, 720S, GT3 RS, DB11, McLaren GT, a 600 LT, 2 F-types. The one further away is an SVR. We have a Turbo S, 911. What is that? That's not it. Oh, it is a Turbo S. Another Turbo S, except it's a cab. Then a GTS. Then a GT500. Another Turbo S. Another Turbo S. Another Turbo S. GT4. There's an NSX Viper. GTR 911s. There's a couple of JDM cars back there. Another NSX. There's a couple NSXs actually. DB11, there's a GTR, there's a V12 Vantage Roadster. That thing is cool. Ooh, we got an SLS Black Series over here next to this 992 GT3RS and this beautiful GT3 Touring. Wow. Always had a soft spot for the SLS Black, especially in Solar Beam Yellow. Oh my God, that thing in Solar Beam Yellow is just, take my money. God, they're getting expensive though now, aren't they? Targa, GTS, Turbo S, R8 facelift, another R8 facelift. Turbo S cab, a couple AMG GTs. I don't know if it's a GTR, except for the one on the end in Green Hell Magno. We have a Vanquish over there in the most beautiful blue. A couple more Astons, and this is the V12 Vantage. I am not a fan of the stripe with the orange. I think that clashes a little bit. But I mean, a V12 and a Aston Martin Vantage is just so cool. Shark Blue GT3. Oh, there's a 911R over here, which is pretty cool. You haven't seen those in a while. And then there's the Porsche that I'm driving, which is right there, the black one. So we'll be leaving shortly after the driver's meeting. And yeah, I'm a little tired. I take ADHD medication, and one of the side effects of it is you get a dry mouth, and so it's like really difficult to talk. And I sound like I'm out of breath, which I'm not. It's just the throat's so dry. It's drier than the Sahara Desert. But that's pretty much the lineup here. Let's head up to the driver's meeting. Okay, so the driver's meeting is now over, and let's head on out of here. Alrighty, we're heading out. We can legally run a stop sign. And please excuse my manual shifts because I haven't driven a manual since June of this year. And well, you can't really hear much on the outside of this car. It's quite muffled, but on the inside, ooh, that's a nice 911. Looks like it's a Carrera S with the aero back on it. Just like my buddy Sean's car, except his is in white. Something about it. Also, audience, this is the camera guy. See that blue Porsche there? That's a Speedster.
It is a Speedster. That is like probably my favorite, one of my favorite 911 models, because I love the GT3s, but I'm a convertible guy, as I mentioned earlier with the Speciale Aperta. How do I fucking mute this thing? There we go. But I really like the Speedster because it's like a convertible GT3 RS with a manual gearbox. Okay, so we're gonna do a little handling test.
GT3 RS is looking very nice, and it looks like behind me that's a GT4. I don't think it's an RS, but cool nonetheless. And then over here is where we're going to start to accelerate, and the police will have already closed off a portion of the highway for us specifically, which is just, you feel very exclusive doing that. Alrighty, let's get going, shall we? Now, even though it doesn't rev to 9,000 RPMs, it sounds so good. So what we need to do is follow everybody. Oh, I shifted into third and I should have hit the, there we go, there's fifth gear. Sounds so good. And looks like we're gonna be slowing down here. That is so cool, bro. Like, this is so cool. Like, this gives you kind of a scale of how many cars are here. They go all the way down to the bottom over there, and like, it's a traffic jam of exotics. It's so cool. Just like it kind of desensitizes you a little bit, because you're like, oh yeah, 911R. Porsche Speedster, there's a Chiron, 2 Sennas, Black Series, SLS, you know, like, plebeian stuff. But seriously though, this is amazing. And there's definitely a lot of Porsches over here.
It's a nice traffic jam to be in, that's for sure, isn't it?
Well, not in a manual. I mean, I chose to drive a manual, but no, but it's a pretty cool traffic jam to be in. And then if you look all the way down there, you can see where we start to get going a little bit and start to be going faster than 20 miles an hour.
Okay. Yeah.
Gosh, look at all that traffic over there. Do I feel bad that we're closing off a little bit? It's quite selfish, but it feels pretty exclusive, I'm not gonna lie. And I mean, knowing that we're doing this for charity always feels really good. Okay. Well, it looks like we'll start to get going pretty soon. It says Sun Pass. I wonder if we'll actually get charged with the Sun Pass because we're closing the express lanes. I got a Sun Pass here, but just a little curiosity question I had to myself. And there you can see the police blocking off the road, and we can start to hear that beautiful Porsche flat 6. Looks like we're going into the express lanes over here on 595 in Fort Lauderdale. Like we're gonna be slowing down over here again. All right, we're good.
This guy with the blue GT3 is gonna be primary spotlight of this video.
I know. I
and
want to get
black.
in front. I love it. I just want like other cars besides Porsches.
Right. Well, here's some diversity for you. Look at that.
What?
There's different. I mean, there's of course you got the GTS, the Carrera 4S, and a multitude of others, but and there's the Speedster again. Hello.
To non-car people, they're like, all right, this one has a spoiler, so they're more douchey than the ones without a spoiler. What's a GTS? What's a Carrera? What's a Carrera S? What does S mean? Shit. What does GTS mean? Get like, Yeah, no, that was really cringy. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking with that one. I would say cut it from the video, but...
Well, basically what we're trying to say is they're different, okay?
Not different enough. There's so many trim levels of the 911, it's insane. All right, here we go. Oh man, that sounds good. Oh, we're catching up to the De Tomaso.
Anyone a Corvette fan? There's a C1.
Sure. That's a C2, I think. Or
That's
is it
actually...
C-
No, I'm sorry. Actually, you're right. Yeah, that is a C2. Whoops. Uh-huh.
Oh man, that sounds so good. Sounds a little louder than this car. Oh, there's a Huracan over there. Did it break down? I don't know. Italian cars, man. Even though I'm actually not a big Porsche guy, you know, Italian cars are not the most reliable things in the world. Even though Huracans I've heard are pretty reliable. Unless if you twin turbo those things, those are a nightmare, I've heard. So, Dr. Boca return. Man, when you put an exhaust on a Turbo S, they actually can sound pretty mean, especially the pops and bangs. That is a 991.1 Turbo S, which is the same generation as this car, but in Turbo S form. With the 992 Porsches, no, I'm sorry, the 991.2. Oh man. I think this is the first time we filmed a car driving that is not a Porsche. Got a Lotus. I think that's an Evora. It says, I think it's a Evora 400.
You guys want to see that blue GT3 again?
Oh, like we haven't filmed that like 5,000 times already? But it's a great looking car, I gotta admit. It's probably my favorite color on any Porsche is Shark Blue or Voodoo Blue.
Well, at least these guys are on board. Give them some entertainment.
Unless if they don't like cars, then they're fucked. Oh, man, that sounded so douchey and pretentious. So there's some more traffic. It's a little bumpy over here, but the thing sounds so good and it hasn't even touched near red line. Interestingly though, I'm not sure if who's watching this might know this, some people might, if you don't have a life like me. The 991.1 GT3 RS, actually no, the 991 GT3 RS .1 and 2, they don't rev as high as the regular GT3 of the 991 generation. It's something to do with like a part in an engine, but the GT3 revs to over 9,000 RPM, and the GT3 RS revs to like 87 or 8,800 RPM, so it's slightly different. So in that sense, the GT3 sounds better than the 991. But the GT3 RS now and the 992, I think it revs to the same red line. Oh, is that a Boxster Spider up there? Or, yeah, those are pretty cool. There's another GT3 RS, but that's a 992. There's a Turbo S Cabriolet with a red top.
Got a, what is that, a violet purple Taycan.
Oh yeah. Lotus Elise in yellow. So, believe it or not, my mom's name is Elise, and she has blonde hair. And a yellow Elise reminds me of my mom in a way. I feel like I should just get one just for the sentimental value of that. Those things are a lot of fun, though. I'd love to get one. I'd love to drive one of those things.
And if you are a Lotus fan, what about the black Lotus Esprit? I'm probably saying that wrong, but I mean that's a
it's Esprit.
Yeah, okay.
No, you're pronouncing it right. Because all right, so the reason why he's asking about how to pronounce things is because Tyler, when he first said Bentley Mulsanne, he's like, it's the Bentley Mulsanne, and I'm like, that's not how you say it, buddy. And so like I've just been absolutely roasting him on so many of the cars that he's mispronounced. Oh, listen to that. Yes, the Porsche Dyson, the vacuum cleaner. I remember Jeremy Clarkson said that when he did the 997 Turbo review. He was like, they should have called it the Porsche Dyson because it's like an easy-to-use vacuum cleaner. So what I was saying, we were talking about the GT3RS, and you're not crazy about how tall the wing is. What's interesting is the wing is so high that you can actually see out of the rear window. It looks like a Cup car. I first saw this thing, actually I think it was in like the same spec when I went to the Nürburgring over the summer, and that was before they were in the United States. But you said you don't love the wing, but interesting thing about the GT3RS Aero, oh, that sounds so good. So as you know, the GT3RS is the even lighter weight version of a GT3, but because the GT3RS has this insane aero on it, it actually weighs more than a GT3 if it would have had the same weight saving measures as a GT3. So Porsche did like even more weight saving measures, like they always do that iconic Porsche sticker on the front hood for the RS cars. And so they do that with that and a bunch of other stuff as well. And so with the Aero and all the weight saving measures they did for the RS, it actually weighs exactly the same as a 992 GT3. The only difference really being is the Aero itself, which makes it a beast on the track. Oh, hello people. Open the window, see if we can hear any cool noise. Dude, those Z06s sound amazing. Sounds just like a 458. God, that rattle's so annoying in this car at like 4,000 RPM. I gotta say, the wide body on the 992 Turbo S looks so sick. And it's very subtle, because that's kind of what Porsche's about, is subtlety. Which is, I think, why I don't like Porsche, because I like Lamborghini, where it's loud and crazy. Man, I'm just hating on Porsche. Is that Benji?
It is.
I think that's Benji. That's really good for the fuel economy, I bet. Look at Tyler's face. Show him the faces you're making.
No,
like, it's like post. It's like is that. It's pretty cool that we caught up to Benji.
Yeah, that's a white Z06, C8.
No, that's a regular C8.
No, it's Z06.
No, I know it is. I'm just fucking with you.
Oh yeah, you did. You did.
I'm just fucking with you.
I mean, because it's like, wait. Are you gaslighting me? Because it says Z06.
They really do look similar, though.
Yeah.
Like, there are subtle differences, but if you look at it straight from the back, with the exception of the center exhaust, if you get like a higher trim C8, like the LT3, I think it is, with like the big wing and all that good stuff, in a very similar color to a Z06, you can kind of mistake it for it. God, this is so good. This thing says send nudes. Maybe I'm curious. Okay, well, if the person that owns that car is watching this video, I'm probably gonna roast the crap out of them. Never met that person before in my life, but you know, I wonder how they got the car. Maybe OnlyFans money? You know?
You never know.
You never know, man. Exclusive content coming soon. No, I'm not gonna ever fucking do OnlyFans. I still want my dignity. No, seriously though, like, actually, no, not seriously. What the fuck am I saying? It's just crazy that we live in a world where a Corvette sounds better than a brand new Ferrari. Because the SF90 doesn't sound like that. F8 Tributo doesn't sound like that. The 812 is better. Okay, let me actually rephrase that. Sounds better than any new V8 Ferrari. Not V12, obviously, because the 812 sounds way better than that. But looks like we're stopping here. So now we are off of the highway, and what we're doing now is we are going to be going to Ferrari Fort Lauderdale. We did the exact same thing on the rally last year where we park on the street. In this particular case, it's Federal Highway. It's a 2-lane street. We're literally blocking the road, pretty much inconveniencing everybody's day, which I feel so bad. But that's what this rally does. I think it's pretty exclusive feeling, I'm not gonna lie. And the thing with this is that when we go to Ferrari Fort Lauderdale, especially because, you know, we're with all the Porsches and we are not anywhere near the front of the line, and the road's like, I think, half a mile to Ferrari Fort Lauderdale, and so like by the time you get to Ferrari Fort Lauderdale, you don't have a lot of time, which makes sense because, you know, they don't want to close the road very long. But you gotta like really make sure you speed walk over there because, you know, you want to check it out. And I think they're going to have that auction for the Maserati MC20. I didn't actually mention that, but there's actually going to be an auction for a Maserati MC20 at Ferrari Fort Lauderdale. It's a green one. Oh, I forgot we're being police escorted because I see the light turned red and I was going to stop and I'm like, why is everyone running the light? And I'm like, oh wait, we're getting police escorted. Imagine if this light had a red light camera. Get a picture in the mail of this thing getting a red light camera. That would be funny.
My God, look, it's an E150 Econoline van.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. Oh, but wait,
Well, look, people are going to associate that with something, and I'm going to get demonetized.
No, that's why you can use your imagination. Or rather not. Let's keep it G-rated here. But
G-rated? I'm fucking cursing this whole video. Okay. I'm not doing fucking G-rated.
Speaking of which, look, it's a Nissan Sentra and a Crown Victoria, but fuck that, because we got a Corvette in front of us.
Yeah. Oh, we got a Turbo S coming on the right. Carrera S, GT500, 991.2.
GT500. 911 Carrera 4S. Oh, is that an Evo? Wait, no, that's a GT.
That is a McLaren
yeah,
GT.
Yeah.
If anyone watched my London car spotting video, I was kind of shitting on that car because I saw them throughout London, like they were everywhere. And I was talking about it, you know, because McLaren just has too many models. Like, it's very confusing. They had the 570 GT, and then they had the McLaren GT, but it wasn't that much of a Grand Tour compared to the 570S. And it didn't have the incredible nice wave. It doesn't have that hydraulic suspension from the 720S. Now, I've never actually been in a McLaren GT or a 570S, but I have had the opportunity to go for a ride in a 720S Spider, and that thing was so comfortable, so supple. Like, it's more comfortable than this car. It's more comfortable than my Mazda. It's more comfortable than my dad's Volvo. It's like genuinely an incredible suspension. I feel like if they put that on the McLaren GT, it would work. But they discontinued that model, and now pretty much the thing you can get in the sports series is that V6 hybrid, the Artura. Dead Tomasos.
Oh, by the way, I don't want to leave, you know, the cool car out, but there was an SVR. There it is, actually. You can see it.
Yeah. It's got an interesting wrap, though.
SVR type.
SVR type.
Yeah, type. Whatever. It's an SVR.
Yeah, and S-type FVR.
F-type SVR. Whatever.
S-type FVR.
Yeah.
You kind of swap the letters. Alrighty, so now we are making a left onto Federal Highway, which is the street that we're going to be parked on. And it should be interesting. I really hope this is not where we're parking, because this is so far away from Ferrari Fort Lauderdale. But we'll see. They probably have some cool stuff in the Chiron. Last year they had a Chiron in there, and I think they had an M5 CS, a GT Black Series. I don't remember what else. They might have had a Monza SP1.
I think if I remember correctly, and there's that 911 Turbo S again. They had it was a 8C. No, it was a Competizione. Yeah,
812. Oh, they did have
yeah.
an 812 Competizione.
Yeah,
they did. I forgot. I think that was like my first time I've ever seen one. Oh no, wait. The first time I saw one was in Modena, when I went to Italy last summer, which was an incredible experience. God, that sounds so good. Oh my God. And you like the sound of a car, you should be able to moan about how amazing your car sounds. You should be like driving the car with the exhaust, you're like, oh! You know what I mean? And now I'm gonna get roasted for me making moaning sounds.
Oh yeah, Spencer, great way to embarrass yourself on the entire internet by moaning to the sound of a car. I hope I didn't traumatize anybody, but if you would like to dislike and unsubscribe, please feel free to. I promise I won't be offended. Anyways, let's get back to the video before I get demonetized.
You know, maybe I should start an OnlyFans with all that shit. No, but all jokes aside, they sound amazing. They really do. And I'm pretty impressed that GM managed to create an engine that sounds so good and is the most powerful naturally aspirated V8 at 650 horsepower. Okay, after a very, very, very long walk, we finally made it to Maserati, Ferrari, Fort Lauderdale. Okay, so this is the entrance to Maserati Fort Lauderdale. Yeah, they've got a pretty good inventory. Let's start over here, Fiat 500. 918 Spider. Carrera GT. This is a really nice Turbo S. I'm a big fan of yellow on cars. Then you got a bunch of like Alphas, like Giulias and Grecales, I think the new one's called, I believe. Another Turbo S. Looks like it's a GTS Targa. But look at this thing. This is a Lamborghini Centenario. One of 20 in the road. I think they made 20 Roadsters and 20 Coupes. It is based on an Aventador, but these things are worth like a couple million easily. Just look at the diffuser. It's just nuts. And then next to that is a C8. And then we have another Huracan STO. 720S. Casual Ferrari Monza SP1. Casual. Nothing too crazy. A 911 Sport Classic. A turbo. A MC20. I don't know what they call the convertible version of that. This is the convertible version. I'm not really good with my Alphas, my old Alphas, but is it like an Alpha Spider? Nice Giulia Quadrifoglio, by the way. Veloce, or I don't know how to pronounce that. But regardless, they are in mint condition. I'm not sure if they're restored or if they're like that, but regardless, they look beautiful. Got a bunch of Maseratis here. And we have the MC20 Spider, another one. Oh wait, the Alpha is not called the Grecale, it's called the Tonale, and this is the Grecale Maserati. All right, that makes sense. All right, we're gonna head through these people, and now we're into the Ferrari dealership end. So one more Maserati before we move on to Ferrari. Another MC20. This one's a convertible as well. Don't know what that is, but it's humongous. Got a Ferrari Roma in black. You can see all the cars out there. Another black Roma, a Portofino, an SF90, another SF90 in a gorgeous blue, a Portofino, an 812 GTS, and another Roma. Then over here we have a 488 Spider, 488 Pista Spider, and quite a bold spec. 488 Spider. Oh no, I'm sorry, F8 Spider. I'm gonna get massive hate for that in the comments because I don't know my. I guess I don't know my stuff. And then look at this, a Monza SP2. The SP2 is a 2-seater and the SP1 is a single-seater. And a LaFerrari. This looks like it's in Rosso Fuoco, which is like a metallic red. It is absolutely beautiful. This thing came out 10 years ago and it still looks fresh to this day. It's absolutely gorgeous. So moving from the LaFerrari, an SF90, and then another Ferrari Monza. This one is an SP1 though. And then we got a 488 Spider, an A12 GTS, a 296 GTB, an F8 Spider, and then another SF90. Yeah, this is pretty insane, to say the least. So I almost forgot this tucked in back here, which is a 458 Speciale in a beautiful blue. I don't know the name of this color, but yeah, it's gorgeous. So outside of Maserati Fort Lauderdale, I think I found my dream spec MC20. That blue is perfect. Okay, so now they called everyone to get into their cars. I'm probably not going to show all the cars in this particular part because I did that in my last video, but I showed all the cars already at the beginning at the BB&T Center or whatever it's called right now. So I think our next stop is the Goodyear Blimp facility. Last year we went to an airplane hangar at Fort Lauderdale International Airport, but in 2019 we went to the Goodyear Blimp facility. So this is kind of like a full circle moment. And everyone's starting their cars. Yellow Scuderia, 812 GTS, 488 Pista. Oh man, it's always exciting hearing everyone's car start up and everyone starts revving. The Aventadors are probably going to be insanely loud. Look at all these beautiful machines running. Look at that paint. So like seeing all these cars in one place, you know, I'm really desensitized to exotic cars because I feel like I'm around them constantly. I see them a lot. I go to so many of these events, but it reminds me, especially in an event like this with just such a large quantity of these cars all on one street going to the same place, it really makes you, I guess, appreciate and not take things for granted because, you know, I think we all do that in our lives sometimes. And it's also for a great cause, Toys for Tots. It just keeps going on and on and on and on and on. I think we're getting close to the Porsche though. Look at that titanium exhaust with the blue inside of the tips, which is what happens with the titanium exhaust because of the heat and the material. That sounds good. Thing's probably insanely loud when it revs up to 9. All right, I think we're getting close to the Porsche now. So we can head on out of here. Oh, CTS-V Coupe. You don't see those very often. Kind of a very interesting design. And I think you can get it with a manual too. But the CTS-V wagon will always have my heart. Wow, look at the color on this Taycan. I'm not sure if it's a wrap, but it looks like it could be paint. And then there's Tyler. Let's head back into, oh wait, is that's unlocked, yeah. All right, clutch in, brake on. Yes, I know it's getting serviced tomorrow, so just excuse all those messages. The car's fine. Okay, so the first thing I needed to do in this car is push this button right here, the cooled seat button. It is so essential in Florida. I wish my Mazda had cooled seats. But interesting quirk, if you actually care, which I feel like only Doug DeMuro would, is that you can turn on the heated seat and the cooled seat at the same time. Why do you need to do that? I don't know, but you can do it if you want to. It's very weird, but little quirk of this car. And a lot of other Porsches of this era, like the Panamera, you could do the same thing as well.
Oh, looks like that Lotus broke down. Oh wait, oh, that sucks.
0%. decided to go windows down for this bit because everyone's gonna, I believe, make a U-turn. I would put this thing in neutral and rev it, but it sounds like a vacuum cleaner. Right, now we're going over here, it looks like. There's a Z06. Oh, is that Benji?
Yeah, it was.
It is Benji.
That was
Oh.
Benji.
It's just because there's so many Z06s, I can't remember whose is who. Let's see if I can try to get behind Benji. Break up the vet. What
Oh,
happened to the
no.
812 super slow.
You know what the best thing about that, though, is that he's right at a Ferrari dealership, so that's convenient. Well, I mean, the Ferrari dealership's down there, but
I guess
it's
so, yeah.
convenient.
The 812 super push. I am genuinely impressed. F-Type always sounds so good. Look at all these people. You feel like a celebrity when you're driving out of here. Yeah, I don't think people care about this vacuum cleaner flat 6 sound. God, the F-Type's verbals sound so good.
Oh, it's F-Type R. Nice. MC20. Oh, GT4.
You were calling it the MC220 earlier.
Yeah, I was.
This is not a Bombardier aircraft, the A220. Sounds good. This is awesome. Oh my god. Wow. Is that an RSQ8 over there on the other side of the road?
That is.
I believe it is.
It is.
So fun fact, it's on the same platform as the Lamborghini Urus. It has a very similar engine. Drives differently from what I've heard, but it has a nickname, and some people call it the Porous, which is hilarious. I think it's better looking than the Urus. I'm not crazy about how the Urus looks. The Ferrari Puro Sangue, the Ferrari, well, I think they're calling it FUV, which is a very interesting Ferrari utility vehicle. I actually think that looks way better than the Urus. In pictures, I can understand why some people may not like it, but in person, I actually quite liked it. Oh, there's the 911R. But yeah, so the SUV from Ferrari I do think looks better than the Urus. And you know, who cares? It has a naturally aspirated V12. And that right there alone makes me like the car. You cannot argue with a beautiful sounding naturally aspirated V12. Hello 911R, how are you doing today? I talk to these cars like they're talking to. Oh. And some people, not a lot, but I've seen some people are like, oh, I don't like how it sounds, doesn't sound like a real Corvette. And I'm like, well, I'd rather have a Corvette sound like a Ferrari than a Corvette. I know it's kind of a hot take, but as great as the LS motor sounds, that flat plane crank V8 makes it sound more exotic. Another good example of how a flat plane crank V8 can make a car sound incredible is the Mustang GT350. It has a flat plane crank V8, but it doesn't sound like a Ferrari. It kind of sounds like a combination of a higher revving engine with a muscly V8 tone. It revs to over 8,000 RPMs, and I don't like Mustangs really. I've driven like a couple GTs and I was quite disappointed, but when I drove that GT350, I fell in love with it. The sound it makes is genuinely unbelievable, and for the price, best value for at least sound. Like, if you get a GT350R, I don't think you even need an aftermarket exhaust. It sounds so good from the factory, and like it just makes that Mustang feel more exotic. Yes, you have the GT500, which has a dual clutch gearbox and it's like 750 horsepower, but does not sound as good as a GT350, and it doesn't have a manual. But it's more personal preference at that point. I kind of feel bad for that other C8 owner behind Benji because they are literally looking at a higher trim version of their exact car in the same color. That's like the ultimate, like, oh, you couldn't afford this. It sounds so douchey and pretentious of what I'm saying, but like, what was it? I think Jeremy Clarkson did a reference to when, oh, I remember what it was. It was the Rolls Royce Ghost. When they went to Albania, and at the end of the whole thing in the studio, they said, here's my problem with it. He said, Simon Cowell will pull up next to you at a light in his Phantom. And you'll just feel useless. Jeremy Clarkson said that, not me. But I'm making a direct comparison with that with the yellow Corvettes. I promise I'm not hating on the Corvette. I actually really like the C8. I would love to drive one. The interior is pretty nice. The markups are stupid ridiculous. I can't stand dealer markups. It's ridiculous. Wait, does that say Pornhub on the...
Yeah, Pornhub casting car.
Oh, yeah. So then definitely this is probably the OnlyFans CEO. Something like that. I do not want to sit in that car because I don't know what things have happened in that thing. Alright, I'm going to get demonetized at this point. Like, YouTube, I love you so much. Please don't demonetize me and my dark humor. Dude, Benji's just like making me have an orgasm every 5 seconds with those fucking downshifts. Oh, sounds so good. It's like a fine-tuning instrument. Like, you play it like a musical instrument. So I remember Mr. JWW, who's another car YouTuber, if you don't know who he is. He talks about like playing the exhaust like a musical instrument. And it's so true. Especially with the really fast dual clutch transmissions. Like, bang, bang, rum, ba, 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 ba. This thing just... nothing. Vacuum cleaner vibes. So this is Vista BMW, and we got a 2002 out there. It's kind of hard to see it, but it's some pretty cool stuff. I've got to say though, BMW Fort Lauderdale has a way more impressive showroom than Vista. Hey, this is not even my car. I want to sell my Mazda and get something else anyways. I'm not gonna film that, but dude, that is a perfect spec right there. Like, genuinely, I would take that over this. Yes, this is a 911, but that...
I'm sorry.
It's just such a cool
may I cut in? May the camera guy cut in? Because I know Spencer can be loquacious at times, but I have to point out this classic Chevy Bel Air. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Cool. I mean, beautiful car. But continue.
No, I think it's actually really cool.
Actually, hold on. I'm sorry. There we go. Look at that.
Yeah, no. I would take a 718 Spider over a 911 GTS any day. Even, or like a... Because... So, interestingly, I don't know about the Boxer Spider, but on the GT3s, they have a 6-speed manual. This has a 7-speed manual. And I've heard the 6-speed is a little bit better. I'd be curious to see how that is. I've only driven this car. It's I think it's the only Porsche I've ever driven, and it's the only manual Porsche I've ever driven. Since obviously it's the only Porsche I've ever driven. Okay, so we have officially made it to the Goodyear Blimp facility. Oh, there is a 480 GTB over there in yellow. Also, we got a Viper ACR in front of us. Cool little thing is the third brake light is the Viper logo in the center. I think it's a cool quirk. This is so surreal. I love doing this. I'm curious if the blimp is actually inside the hangar. We'll see.
I'm gonna get...
Oh my god. Oh my... 360 Challenge Stradale, 430 Scuderia, and a 458 Speciale, all in one line. That is super cool. Obviously, the 458 is my favorite. 360 Challenge Stradale is the best sounding. I think the 360 Challenge Stradale is one of the best sounding stock Ferraris because the 355 sounds amazing, but you kind of need a really good exhaust for it. But the 360 Challenge Stradale, Oh, they haven't even opened it yet. They're probably gonna make like a big announcement.
Holy moly.
Yeah, this is insane. This is like Skittles. Like, it's
Right.
absolutely gorgeous. Just like the amount of cars that there are here. It's so cool. Like, it really is amazing. I mean, like, like Ferraris and Lamborghinis for days. It's just insane. Like, I mean, there's really no other words. It's so cool. And like, knowing that, you know, this is for a good cause, it just makes it, it's a very feel-good moment. Okay, everybody, we finally made it to the Goodyear Blimp base, and the doors haven't opened yet. That's where we're going to give the toys. Each car needs to donate $100 minimum worth of toys. That's minimum $40,000 in toys, because I think there's around 400 exotics on this rally, but do not quote me on that. But talking about exotics, I mean, just look at the quantity and quality of the cars. It's just like, nice car everywhere. Like, it goes on and on and on and on and on. And, you know, as I mentioned before, I'm very desensitized to exotics. But like, if I would have been seeing this for the first time, or if someone that is not really used to seeing exotics for the first time, and then they get to experience this, like, it is just the coolest feeling ever. I remember the first time I did this rally, and I got that amazing feeling. Yeah, it's just so cool. We got the toys in the trunk, and we're gonna head over there and donate them. It's always a great feeling. Oh, and I forgot to mention, this is the Ford GT that set the record, I think. It went like over 280 miles an hour. Oh, 310?
310.
One car I didn't point out is this Ford GT. It has a record-breaking 310 miles an hour. And that's just absolutely insane. It's got the parachute and everything. It's so sick. And we got some cars from like Aston Martin Fort Lauderdale. It's a great dealership, by the way. Really nice people, and it's a pretty brand new showroom. And then here's like the hypercars, the Lotus Emira, the Lotus SUV. I forgot what it's called. Brett David's Pagani Huayra. Brett David is the owner of Prestige Imports. And I Create Millionaires, Bugatti Chiron, and a full carbon McLaren Senna, which is DailyDrivenExotics. And then we got a bunch of race cars over here, which look sick. And we also have over here a 488, an F8, a Urus, and two 911s. I'm not sure what trim level they are, though. So it is amazing to see this huge pile of toys going to a good cause. Surely they are going to open this massive hangar. All right, the thing is opening. Okay, so we are inside of this airplane hangar, and they got a pretty cool selection. So, Carrera GT, casually. Looks like there's a couple F1 cars. I don't know if they're F1 or not. Aston Martin V12 Vantage. This right here is the Rolls-Royce Spectre. This is the first electric Rolls-Royce. I really like it. And I'm actually okay with this being electric because it's very smooth. It's very fast. The interior is stunning on it. I can't wait until they release a convertible version eventually. And of course, do the black badge, which is just going to be next level. There's a gentleman inside, so we'll check out the interior maybe a little bit later. But Carrera GT. So this is the Rolls-Royce Spectre. This is the first ever electric Rolls-Royce. It is absolutely beautiful. And look at this interior. It's got even starlights in the door panel. They're not on right now. And this has the starlight headliner, which is always very cool. The interior is absolutely beautiful. I cannot wait until they come out with a convertible version of this in black badge form. And I like that it's electric because I think electric should be on a luxury car because it's very smooth, it's really fast, and it's very quiet. But what's not quiet is this, a Carrera GT, arguably one of the best sounding cars of all time. This V10 in this was originally designed to be a racing engine, but then I don't think it could get approved to race, so Porsche stuck it in this thing, and it's absolutely insane. A legendary car. And then we have a Ferrari Daytona SP3, and this thing is absolutely beautiful. This is the exact same car that we saw at Exotics at Dana Point, and yeah, I mean, look at this rear, look at the exhaust. This has a naturally aspirated V12. Yeah. It's sick. You really need to see one of these in person to really kind of appreciate the design Then we got this. This is a Pagani Huayra. Every single time I see a Pagani, I've had the opportunity to see many Paganis. It just does not get old. I mean, just look at this carbon fiber. The weave of it. It's probably the most beautiful carbon fiber weave I've ever seen. These mirrors. Look at the Italian flag on there. These are meant to mimic a woman's eye. I mean, just stunning. Look at the seats in there. And the gear shifter. It's meant to make a subtle clicking sound. It's weird to see a Huayra fully painted because all the ones I've seen have been mostly fully exposed carbon, and those look great. But I do like this painted version. It's absolutely beautiful, and you can't really see it on this car because there's not a lot of carbon. But when it's fully exposed carbon, they match and align the panels perfectly. That takes a lot of time to do, but the attention to detail on a Pagani is next level, and it has a twin-turbo Mercedes AMG V12. Then over here, we have a Lamborghini Countach, the new one that is based on an Aventador. Some people don't like how this looks. I think it is absolutely gorgeous, and I love the white interior. It's bringing it back to the 80s vibes, and yeah, it's another one of those really expensive Lamborghini models that is based on an Aventador. The Lamborghini does this really well, though. The design of it it's sick. Now, some people might not like that there's no wing on it, but you got to keep in mind that the original Countach actually did not have a wing to start. It did eventually, but actually this looks pretty cool without it. But I can understand why people would want it. Then over here we have the Gallardo Spider concept. I think this thing looks really cool. I thought there was only one in the world, but I think there's more than one. I know there's one at the Lamborghini Museum. I've seen this thing a couple of times, but it's really cool to see this thing. And MC20. I have no idea what Ferrari this is. It's probably some really expensive California or something like that. I have no idea what it is. It looks like it's a 250 California or something. I don't know what it is. I might get roasted in the comments. But look at this. This is a Ferrari F40. And not just any F40. I could be wrong here, but I think this is an F40 LM. And if that's the case, oh my God. This thing is insane. Look at the engine and the oh my gosh, dude, this thing probably sounds incredible. Oh my God, just look at that. This thing probably weighs next to nothing. And then over here we have a Vector. I mean, this thing is so quirky. I mean, look at this. It's insane. I don't know much about this thing. It's the twin turbo. It's probably a V8. Oh, it's lined with gold like the McLaren F1. These things are probably really rare. I gotta probably do some research on this thing. W8. Oh my God, this thing is so sick. So weird. Look at this interior. Just look at there's like buttons everywhere. It's kind of hard to see with the reflection on the sun, but oh, there we go. See all the buttons right there. This is sick. This is so sick. I haven't even eaten yet because I've just been catching up with so many people in here, and they had a really cool watch stand over there, so I got to try on a couple of watches as well. But I'm gonna go eat now, and I'll catch you guys when we're gonna head out. So the very kind people at Prestige Import have a couple of cars laying around that we can check out, and they kindly let me sit in this absolutely beautiful Aventador S. It has the carbon bucket seats, which are the most uncomfortable seats I think I've ever sat in any car. I don't know how to adjust them. I don't want to mess with the adjustment because someone's going to be driving this thing pretty soon. I don't want to mess with the settings. But like, I have like no headroom in here. I definitely want to get a convertible or it's a Roadster actually of this. But look at this. It is an aftermarket steering wheel, but it's really nice. The paddles feel good. You got this super cool thing you flip up for the start button, and you can just tap it like that. And these are the different drive modes. Pretty outdated infotainment system. The leather's gorgeous, though. I really am digging this color. It's kind of almost like got that worn-in look a little bit, in a good way. And you get to see back there that naturally aspirated V12. Oh my God, dude! I have such a huge soft spot for the Aventador. It was kind of the Lamborghini that I grew up with. My first ever dream car was a Murcielago, but that was a little before my time. But like, this car came out when I was about 12 years old, and so like, I was growing up in high school and college throughout the life cycle of the Aventador. And when production ended recently, or I think about a year or so ago, it was kind of like an end of an era in a good way. I'm really excited though to see the Revuelto, and I cannot wait until the aftermarket exhaust manufacturers like Gintani will put exhausts on those things because they're probably going to sound insane. I've never driven an Aventador. I've only driven a Huracan STO, which I'm very thankful that I have. But I'm really curious how this transmission compares to the dual clutch. I heard it's not very good, but be interesting. So now I'm also sitting in the new Lotus Emira. I'm in love with it. The seats are incredibly comfortable, like way more comfortable than I thought they were going to be. I love this interior color. I haven't really played with the screen, and I like that it's super simple. You have just simple climate controls. The gearbox in this car is excellent. I mean, the shifts are super notchy. It's better than my dad's Porsche, which is saying a lot, because that's an excellent feeling gearbox. I mean, I'm so impressed with Lotus. The quality on the interior is beautiful. I would, if I could afford one of these, I would actually buy one like instantly. It's so sick. And then what's really cool is down here you can see the linkage of the gearbox. So if I change gears, you can see it happening, which I just think is such a cool touch. I really like that a lot. But yeah, this thing is sick. I really like this car. And shout out to Prestige Imports for letting me check this thing out, as well as the Aventador S over there. Okay, well, after all of that, we're gonna head out of here, and well, we'll see if we're gonna do anything else exciting. So, if this probably won't be the end of the video. If it's not, then well, I'll see you in the next shot. Many of the cars have left, but there's still a good amount here, and just what an event! Amazing. Alrighty, let's head on out of here. This thing's a little bit more comfortable than those SV bucket seats. Can actually have space in here. Alrighty. Oh my god, dude. I am just amazed. This is a Corvette and it sounds like a Ferrari 458. Oh my god. I really want one now so bad. Oh my god. Alright, now I gotta fill this thing up. And cry. Okay, so the Z06. Now I'm gonna hop in the passenger seat of this beast and take a listen for myself, because I've just been having a massive eargasm as this thing has been driving. It sounds incredible. I mean, look at this exhaust in the center, those quad tips. Interesting. I think these are probably the louder ones with the little dots around. It kind of looks like a brake disc in a way. Damn, that AC is loud. It sounds like I'm in like one of those automated car washes.
Yeah, 59 miles left to gas.
Jesus Christ. This thing is a gas guzzler. All right, so we got, this is pretty much like a regular C8 inside, which I do think is a very nice looking interior. But basically, like, the passenger's been completely forgotten about, and it's very driver focused, and that steering wheel is absolutely beautiful. Yellow stitching throughout, and then you can kind of see what's really cool about this is a convertible. You can just open the window if you just want to hear the noise, because it is a bit hot out. This sounds unbelievable, dude. Oh my god, that sounds amazing. That is like orgasmic. It sounds amazing. That bike. Oh my god. Dude, that... I don't know how good that is shifted into first like that. Oh my god.
All the time, it's fine.
Dude, that sounds just... Dude, that is insane. Holy fuck. That is orgasmic how fucking good that sounds. Oh my god. That's the stock exhaust. It sounds so... Oh. That sounds like a 458. Oh my god. Okay. The bright yellow Z06. That thing sounds incredible. Dude, this thing in yellow just looks so sick. Just the little different touches of it make it look more exotic than a regular C8, in my opinion. And now I gotta move this thing so you can park it in the garage. Musical cars. It reminds me of Salamander when he lived in his old house and he used to just constantly be moving cars left and right. Okay, after a successful ride in the Z06, we're now going to hop into Benji's Bronco for dinner because we can't all fit in the Porsche. I mean, technically we can, but that back seat in that car is not really designed for, what's the word? Oh, people. And the Z06 is a two-seater, so...
Straight pipe Sequoia. This is my buddy Straight Pipe Sequoia.
Oh yeah, Andres, yeah, the Straight Pipe Sequoia. I mean, it's got a V8 though, right?
Yeah.
The V8 sound good, probably at least.
It's got a V8, but he's got
It's better than if I straight pipe my Mazda. I'd be like, Anyways, let's get going. By the way, those in the comments down below, would you rather get a Bronco or a Jeep Wrangler? I'm team Bronco. All right, it is cheap meal time with some chicken and waffles. Very excited for that. Okay, so we're at the W Hotel in Fort Lauderdale because there is a particular restaurant called Steak 954, and they have these cookies they make fresh for dessert. And I haven't had them in a long time, and I'm gonna go pick them up, and they're insanely delicious. Also outside, we have a beautiful Huracan Technica. Gosh, I haven't been in this hotel in a long time. In like years, I think. So for those in the comments, do you all know what W means for the W Hotel? Oh, it's pretty nice in here. So W stands for whatever you want, whenever you want. Gosh, I can't even imagine the stories a concierge at a W Hotel has. It's probably some pretty cool stories. So this is the restaurant, Steak 954, and it has a really cool vibe inside. So this restaurant has a jellyfish tank. There's the restaurant in the back. This place is sick. Have you guys ever watched Joshua Wiseman where he's like, we've got the bag. There's a dozen cookies in here. It was like about like 20 bucks, which for a dozen cookies isn't actually that bad. And these are freshly baked. I've been getting really into baking recently, and I've been really baking a lot of chocolate chip cookies. And so, you know, I wanted a little bit of info about these because these things are absolutely delicious. So some more cars showed up. Got a C8, but this is the non-Z06. And then we got one of my favorite Ferraris ever, the 458 Italia. This one's got a ducktail spoiler on it that looks pretty cool. I like that a lot. Been seeing a lot of 458s today, which is not usually the case. And I'm all for it because I love the 458. Welcome everybody to Pompano Air Park. We're actually hanging with my friend Benji, his buddy. His dad has an airplane hangar here, and so we're looking at some of the planes here. This is an air park, not an airport, so it has slightly different rules and regulations. But it's pretty cool to be able to hang around these small planes over here. But what's really cool is that right there is the Goodyear Blimp Hanger. So we were literally there earlier today. So it's kind of like a little full circle moment. I have no idea how long this video has been, but if you did stick till the end, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.